Hello everybody. In this video we're going to show you our navigation methodology, or actually this is actually the interrogation. We're going to actually interrogate a database and we're going to show you how to do that. Now firstly I want to remind you that our methodology, normal Excel uses the left click, but for us to drill and move around the system we use the right click. So now I'm sitting here at my main menu. I'm going to click on transactions. I am in the debtors database, so I'm going to click on transactions here, and then I'm going to go to income. These are the items that will give me an income statement effect. Okay, and I'm going to go to my sales data population. So I'm going to right click on there. So those are all right clicks. So now I've arrived. You'll see that the menu changes from menu to depth one, and depth one means that I'm actually at the depth that I want to be. I can see how that depth actually goes. Now what we're seeing here is we're seeing the sales grouped by the debtors category. So this is our major category of debtors. We've just used A to G, but you would see something more meaningful for real data. This is just dummy data. So what we have here, we have 8.8 million. That is our sales figure per, this is a list of invoices. So that's our sales figure per invoice for the year. Okay, then we have our VAT component and then our gross, and we have a count as to how many of these apply to each different category. And you see we've got 204 invoices for the year. Okay, so that's where we're starting from. Now what we want to be able to do is change the grouping dimension. So we can group the sales database in terms of different dimensions. Now this is by category. We can group it by debtor. We can group it by country, etc. So what we want to do is we want to get to those dimensions. And what we have here in our standard layout, this blue cell, which we covered in another video, is our return cell. To the right of him in this kind of format, we right click over here, and now we get our list of dimensions, and these are all our dimensions. Now all of these ones above listing, okay, they all act as a grouping. They group the database in a particular way, and only fields capable of being grouped can come up. So you'll see that it's things like, you know, sales and VAT, etc., that can be grouped. Other items like date can't be grouped, so they're left behind. Okay, they come up in the listing, and listing will show you every single item in there. If you filtered, it'll be a reduced listing, but if you go for listing, you'll see the whole thing. So let's just change it to listing now, just as a starting point. Okay, and you can see now the difference between what we had under grouping and what we've got under listing. Now we can see things like VAT rate, we can see the tax, we can see exactly what's going on over here, and we can see things like our system code, etc. So that is a complete list, our entire list of invoices for this particular year. Now let's right click here again, and let's go to debtors. Now we have the grouping done by debtors. We have 27 different debtors that have been involved in this process. Okay, and you can see the count always comes back. These numbers always come back at the top level of depth one. We can always see exactly how this thing actually works. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to now what we want to do is we want to do something different. We want to now go and do a drill down. So now what we can do, we can use this system to actually go and interrogate the particular items that we want. So let's go back to category as a starting point here. So we'll go back to, where is our category? Right at the bottom here. We'll go back to it. So now we're starting here. Let's go to debtor C, and we're going to use debtor C as a drill down. So now I right click on here, and now I get the 1385. Let's just go back. There was 1385. I'm clicking on here. I get 1385. So now I'm focusing on what actually happens under group C. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to change from that thing to, say, period. So now I'm looking at these periods, and I'm concerned about what happened. August was a great month, but why was it so good? I want to go and look at that and see just exactly what happened. So I can click on August here, and then I want to see it by debtor. Okay, that's listing. I want to go back to debtor. Where's debtors? There we go. And now these two debtors, so JP Morgan coming through with 96,000. That's very, very good. Now let's go and look at JP Morgan on a listing basis. Okay, let's change this now to listing. Down to listing, and we can see we had two big invoices here. Very nice. We can go and look at them and see what we want. But I can now use this mechanism to interrogate every single element that affects the annual financial statements. There's going to be a data population housing those transactions that have an impact. For every single situation, there is a population that houses the transactions, and we can interrogate it this way. So we've drilled all our way down here, and now what we can do, we're looking here at this. Now this is an important thing to show you. This is called the drill trail, and what it shows you is the dimension that was used. This is category, period, debtors, and then finally listing. Listing won't have an actual item, but here we can see which ones we chose: debtor C, August 2017, and JP Morgan. Those were the filters that we use, and they act as a filter for the next level down. So we can drill all our way down here, and we can go backwards and forwards on that. So now I just do return, return, return. Okay, and I can see that I come back to my top level debtors page over here. And this is how we can interrogate every single item that you have in the database. And it makes it so simple. And because it's so clear and so simple in terms of how it actually operates, it has huge forensic elements in it, okay, that are just done, that are naturally there. They're not forced, they just happen to be there because the system is so clear and so simple. Thanks very much.